everybody, welcome back to my channel. And in this episode I'm going to show you guys how to make Ratatouille. My wife and I were watching a rerun of the movie and I figured, hey, I never tried to make it, so I might as well. I actually made a critical mistake. This was my first attempt ever, so make sure you watch the entire video until the end and hopefully you don't make the same mistake I do. Other than that, it was really fun and super tasty. So let's get started. So the first thing that we're going to do, we're actually going to blanch the tomatoes. We're going to cut these little slices into them and then we're going to throw them in boiling hot water for around 45 seconds to a minute. And then we're going to stop the cooking process by putting them in ice cold water. Now this does two things. It's going to help you slice the tomatoes a little bit more evenly and we're going to be able to take off those skins. So for the majority of the vegetables, I'm going to use a mandolin, but for the tomatoes, I highly recommend that you hand slice them. They're just simply too delicate and they require a sharp knife and some careful slicing. For the zucchini and eggplant, we're going to go ahead and cut off the ends, but don't discard them because we're going to use them for the sauce later. Go ahead and cut your zucchini and eggplant in half or into manageable sizes for your mandolin. And remember, safety first. Alright, now it's time to use the mandolin. If you've never used one before, don't feel intimidated. Just take your time until you're comfortable. I almost always use the handguard. I haven't used the mandolin enough times to really feel comfortable yet, so I feel like the handguard is absolutely necessary. And just go slow, build your confidence up. The most important thing to remember is to cut your pieces into manageable pieces because you want the handguard to fully protect you. So right here you can see that the eggplant is way too big. If I would have continued, I probably would have hurt myself. So I sliced it into a manageable piece and then continued on. Avoid going to the emergency room. A mandolin can really cause some damage. Next, we're going to get started on the sauce, and I'm going to dice up some onions. It doesn't have to be pretty, just do whatever gets the job done and toss them in with the rest of the scraps. And then we're going to dice up some red pepper. It's important that you don't get any of the seeds of the red pepper or the internal root because it really makes things bitter, so we want the sweetness of the red pepper only. I'm going to slice up the red pepper into quick julienne slices and I'm going to toss all that in with the rest of the scraps. Organize and set aside the zucchini, eggplant, and tomatoes for later assembly, but right now we're going to get started on the sauce. We're going to need about 5 to 6 cloves of garlic for the sauce, and I'm using a garlic press to just kind of put it all in there. I seasoned the sauce with olive oil, pepper, salt, thyme, and rosemary, and then I put it on low heat and just let it simmer. You're really just looking to evenly cook everything together and get it all nice and soft because we're actually going to blend the entire thing and make like a puree out of it. You can see why we didn't need to make any pretty slices with the onions or red pepper. It's all just going to be baby food at the end. So there's obviously way too much sauce being made. The sauce is really only used to be put evenly on the bottom of the pan so nothing burns. And of course in that iconic Ratatouille fashion where Ratatouille presents the plate to the food critic with that swirl of sauce around it. That's basically it. I don't know what I'm going to do with all this sauce. Probably going to make baby food out of it. Who knows? And here comes my critical mistake. So I kind of knew at the grocery store that the eggplant and tomatoes were way too big, but my grocery store did not have the regular sized products, so I knew presentation was going to take a huge hit. I figured I would just wing it. It didn't work out, so make sure you guys buy the right size so you don't make the same mistake that I did. And don't forget to salt, pepper, and sprinkle some thyme and rosemary on the top. Cover it with parchment paper and bake it in the oven at 300 degrees Fahrenheit for 90 minutes. And this is how it turned out. Overall, this was a lot of fun and it tasted amazing. It's just a presentation that I kind of was kicking myself over. I definitely recommend that you guys try it out. It's not a main course, so keep that in mind. This is more of an appetizer or a side dish, but definitely worth the try, and I think it pays homage to the movie. Thanks, guys.
Hey there, did you like that video? If you did, I'd really appreciate your help. See, I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible. And if you can subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification bell so you get notified of my next video, I'd really appreciate it. And if you could share with your family and friends, that would help a lot. Thanks guys, I'll see you guys on the next video. Have a great day.